Introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. 30 base. Watch the run, watch the run.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
2nd and 3. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Let's go.
They'll set up a throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 45-yard line. First catch of this game, a big one. Of course, he had the big performance last week when he was AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, but that was so last week, wasn't it? I mean, look at what he's doing now. I think he's trying to exceed what he did in that game and continue to ascend in this season.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll drop to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
2nd and 10. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
Check. 20. Check. 53. Coming this way. Here we go.
On first down, it's gone. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a handoff here to his running back. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Goff now looking to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Mike 20. Number 53. Mike 53.
This is Dion Lewis now in his 9th NFL season. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Goff, open man is Samuel, complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it. Lewis. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down. Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. And his kick is indeed good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win for...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chris Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Looking to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
Come on, set. 15, run. 15, run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Go, go. 57's Mike. Mike 57. Get it.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2nd and 1. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Put that team on the hunt.
Now Mostert. And an alley to run. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it 2nd down and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. After the run, Goff going to throw. And that'll be incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Goff. Completes it to Samuel. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
First down, Cincinnati. Check. 120. Check. 55 to mine. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
Back to throw. Goff. And the grab by Croft. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Gone. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Topper! Hey, zoom! 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Now back to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A sack by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Got it.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Chris Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, Alpha. Hey, Sam on. Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. First by him near the 35. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
Mike, go. Mike 20. Mike. Cut.
Denzel Ward, the #4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 25 on 2nd down. Goff. It's caught by Treadwell. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 43 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Mostert. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Set, ready? 70, Indy.
Stop your whining. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
2nd and 14. And incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead going to an opposite color jersey.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, he's going to go for it all. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
I'm coming.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. He's got a 1st down past the 30. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Curtis Samuel in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with the touchdown throw.
And you mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Hey, here I come. Here I come.
Hey, Team 6. Team 6.
Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Ready?
They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Let's get it.
At the 30-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, kill.
Check. 53, Mike. Check. 53.
To throw is gone. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Throwing on 3rd. Gone. And the pressure gets to him again. Von Miller, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Ready?
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Tight end right. Tight end right.
Back to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
10 logo.
Watch the screen. Pass.
Hey, orbit.
50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds to Mike. You go night-night. Time to go night-night. 57.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the... Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens have once again taken the lead. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he's going to go down, but a penalty marker too, and they might very well have jumped the snap there. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Third and 2, Goff. And he'll have his man, that's Edelman. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert him to being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
At the 46-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Goff now looks to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. That last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on third. Out of the gun. Goff. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go.
Well, trying to fit it into Shepard, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Love, the rookie from Notre Dame. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Going to give this time to the tailback. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Nice running.
Check 55 tonight. Watch the pass.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. The Bengals on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the 50, it's gone. Got his target, Samuel. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Right back to him on first down. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Goff now looking to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes...
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal... end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear, and if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll give it here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Here goes tonight. 180.
Go, go, go. Check.
Now it's gone. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Fletcher Cox in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Set, baby. Good job.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down.
You're not ready. Mike 56. Mike
2 for 1. 2 for 1.
56.
They go ahead and snap it. Gone. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Von Miller and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
Well, now they'll try the end around. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
Push him back.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On play action, they'll throw. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally, someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Edelman set to return. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bengals drive about to get going. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation? And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. After the sack, here's second and 11. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Ravens, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for